Welcome to U Talk. I'm Megan Demolina, school counselor at Noble Middle School. Our show is all about the middle school student. We discuss social media, relationships, bullying, academics, stress, and so much more. Joining us each month is a dynamic and engaging panel of middle school students ready to discuss the issues and tackle the tough questions. We kick off our show with some Q&A featuring questions on a variety of topics from middle schools throughout the school system that our panel of students are ready to answer. No question or topic is too difficult. All right, panelists, first of all, Happy New Year 2020. Yay. Here we are. Here's our first question. I'm excited about all the new opportunities, privileges, and clubs that I get to do in middle school. Unfortunately, there's a problem too. I feel like middle school is a sign of growing up and leaving your childhood. Something I don't want ever to have to do. I feel like people might expect me to become more serious, a mature adult with too many responsibilities and lots of work. Will there ever be a time for fun? Will I still be a little kid? Please, I need some help. This is definitely why we call it middle school, right? You're in the middle and you're transitioning from becoming from a child to becoming a young adult and preparing for the future. What do you say, Lucas? Any advice? What do you think? Growing up, it's hard, isn't it?
Well, you're not going to change that much. You're always going to be a kid. Nothing changes. You can still have fun just because you're in middle school. It doesn't change anything.
You're just learning a lot more and growing along the way, yeah. But still, there's truth to that quote about being a kid at heart, right? Always a kid at heart.
I've always been looking forward to growing up because even though there's like the bad parts of it, like childhood is gone, I just get offended when people call me like their baby and stuff because I just feel like I'm grown up now and I can make my own decisions, not get talked to like a baby.
Well, you bring up a really good point that some of us don't really want to make that change from child to young adult, but some of us are like there and ready and want to be more mature and grown up in the day-to-day interactions, whether it's at home or at school. Yeah. So it sounds like you're definitely ready and kind of want to make that change in a positive way. How about you, ladies?
My teacher compares us to 7-year-olds, so I mean, it's not really different.
Just in terms of like, behaviors in the classroom, or just kind of like seeing that we're growing up maybe physically, but still running around like 7-year-olds sometimes because we're having fun and chaos abounds and whatever.
Yeah.
How about you?
I guess you can like pick where you want to like grow up or still like stay small with your actions.
What's that?
With your actions. Like
right.
If you like you can still play and stuff, but you also have to, learn.
The delicate balance, right? We have a motto that we like to refer to in our family is work hard, play hard, because there's really a balance about, doing your work, getting it done, but then, having fun too and enjoying life instead of just letting it pass you by and being so serious all the time. So that's a really good point about just the balancing act, becoming more responsible, becoming more mature, becoming more of an adult. Does take a lot of work, pressure, what have you, but then you have to remember that it's okay to lighten up and have fun and laugh, go see a movie, whatever that is, whatever you need to do. So hopefully this person will take our advice and understand that they're not alone, and growing up can have its pros and cons, right? Yeah. Here's our next question. I like this boy. I think he might like me too. He told me I was pretty and funny, but he and one of my best friends broke up last week and she still really likes him. So I'm not sure what to do. So here we're tackling some dating questions, and that can be really tricky. What advice do you have?
I would just talk to her because if she's your friend, she'll understand. And I don't know, y'all will figure it out. It'll be okay.
It'll be okay. It feels like a big moment, but sometimes in the big picture of everything going on, it's just a little sliver of time and disruption to the relationship, perhaps.
Yeah.
What do
If
you
I
think,
was a
Noah?
girl, I would just go for it. But if
Don't
she
hold
doesn't,
back.
if she doesn't support me, then she's not really my best friend. So
Finding that, true friend and the support of the ebbs and flows of relationships, right? Everyone's got them, but nobody wants them. I've heard that expression before. Anything else that we want to add here to this scenario?
I think you should talk to her.
Yeah.
Work it out.
Yeah, working it out, having conversations about it, asking them how they feel about things, moving forward.
Yeah, what they feel about like stuff and.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Our last question today says, hi, on the third day of middle school, my best friend randomly started ignoring me. I don't know why she's making everyone think that I'm a bad person. She's invariably rude to me now, and she's finding new popular friends, making fun of me, and making me feel depressed. What should I do?
Well, if she's doing that, then she's really not your friend, so you should just go find new friends and just don't worry about her. And it's not about what other people think, just do you.
Just do you. Great advice. Yeah. Anything else?
Just stay away from home.
Yeah.
Don't get in the drama.
Don't get caught up in the drama. Maybe just space and time can heal itself or heal the relationship, and then determine if it's one of those relationships that are meant to be. But I wish that person all the best of luck, because friendships are hard, and this is kind of the time in life where everyone assesses whether the friendship is true and strong and loyal. Right?
I think she should talk to her, because for all she knows, she could just be, her friend could just be doing this on purpose. But I think it could mean that there's something wrong with her friend too. Like, there could be something going on in her family. And so if she is her friend, she could ask to talk with her about it.
Right. One of my most favorite and wisest professor that I had told me once that you never have enough information. So sometimes we think that we know everything about a person or what they're going through or why they did something that they did, but we just never have enough information. So that's always good to talk it out and have some empathy and move past it, right?
Yeah.
All right. That wraps up You Talk Q&A. Coming up in our next segment, Mrs. Turner and our panel of students will discuss goal setting for the new year. Don't go away. We have much more You Talk ahead.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
As farmers and ranchers, stewardship of the land comes naturally. Your work keeps our water clean, improves the soil, and enhances wildlife habitat. It also provides countless benefits, not just for you and your family, but for millions of Americans who depend on this region every day without even realizing it. Thank you for being stewards of America's prairie, for all of us. Take a moment and find out how conservation pays. Visit conservationpays.org.
Welcome back to You Talk. I'm Paige Turner, school counselor at Noble Middle School. Setting goals can be challenging, especially without having a plan. One way to accomplish this task is to use the SMART goal model. Let's dive in and discuss this goal setting process with our student panel and hear what SMART goals they have for 2020. All right, welcome back, guys. So are you familiar with the SMART goal process?
Yes.
I've never heard of it.
Never, a little bit. Okay, so let me kind of break it down for everybody. So SMART goals, it's S-M-A-R-T, is an acronym, spells the word SMART, and each of the letters stands for something that we want to do when we're setting goals. So the S stands for specific. So we want to make sure when we set goals that our goals are specific. M is measurable. We want to make sure that you can measure like where you are when you started, and then you can measure, okay, that I've grown or I've made some growth and this is where I want to be. The A stands for attainable. You want it to be something that you can actually achieve, not something like way far out there that's not even possible. R is relevant, so it means it's current, it's related to your life, related to what's going on for you right now. And T is time bound, so that would be you kind of set a time frame for yourself. Because if you say, I want to do whatever my goal is, and then you never say, but I want to do it by this date, or I want to do it by, I want to accomplish it by this time, then sometimes you lose track and it's easy just to be like, never mind. Okay, so that was a quick rundown on SMART goals. So do you guys have any SMART goals? Do you have any goals that you've set for yourself for 2020, for the school year? Do you do that frequently? Do you set goals for yourself?
Yes, I want to get like all A's the entire year. It's like A minuses are fine, but like A's.
So that's your goal.
Yes.
Okay. And is that something that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year? Do you have a?
That's normally my goal every year.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And so every 9 weeks is kind of your time frame. Is each 9 weeks you want to make sure that you get that. Okay. Anybody else do you set goals? Do you do anything like that?
I set some goals, like I set a goal at the beginning of the year to like get all A's, and I did it.
That's great. Either of you guys have any goals for yourself this year?
I don't really set them as goals. I just put them as restraints, but there are goals in the restraint, if that makes any sense. So I'll say, like, I don't want to get lower than an A, but it will be nice because I know that won't happen. There will be some A's and B's in there, but it would be nice if I could get all A's for at least the first quarter.
So you maybe set like a broad goal, but then you kind of give yourself some wiggle room. But then do you say, okay, but I absolutely don't want to get
below a B.
So you kind of set that parameter for yourself. Okay. And that's good, because I think one of the things with setting goals is if you're too rigid and you make it too specific, or if you make it unattainable, then you can get frustrated. How many of you have ever set a goal for yourself and you got frustrated and then it just kind of didn't happen?
That's me every time.
Yeah. That's very easy to do. And it's the new year, and we're talking about goal setting, but a lot of people talk about what with the new year? They set diets or New Year's resolutions or whatever. Right. A lot of times it's, I'm going to lose weight. But I think that, a lot of times they say people don't stick with it because they either set something that's too big, or they don't give themselves some wiggle room, right? Because you're not going to be perfect in setting, and accomplishing these goals. Have you guys ever thought about setting smaller short-term goals to lead up to a long-term goal? Have you ever heard that, to set smaller goals first?
I'm just really inflexible. I was just born really inflexible. So I just try to make myself stretch every night, and I stretch at dance too, so it's helped.
Yeah. So maybe a short-term goal would be, I'm going to stretch, every day, and then your long-term goal is to be able to do is it a split you said?
I can do the splits, but over splits.
The over splits, okay. Yeah. So I think, that's kind of a short-term goal, but your long-term goal is that you want to be able to do that. Absolutely. What about you, Cameron?
I practice volleyball, so I can't really hit it over the net yet, but I want to try to hit it over the net.
Okay.
On the line.
So let's talk about if you were to break that down, do you start off with a shorter distance and then back up slowly and try to accomplish those?
Yeah, because I can only hit it from the half line and not the line.
Right, where you are serving from, I guess.
Yeah.
What about writing goals down? Have you ever heard that when you write your goals down, it makes it more, not realistic, but it kind of helps remind you that you've set that goal for yourself? because sometimes like out of sight, out of mind, if you don't think about something or if you don't see it, then, you know, it's easy to forget.
I've never even really written goals. I just keep
Yeah.
them in my mind, and I just keep on thinking about it
Okay.
every once in a while.
So that works for you. You haven't had to write them down.
I don't usually write them down because usually when I set a goal, there's a motivation that makes me set that goal.
Like, give me an example.
Like, I remember I was, I think in second grade, that if I studied well and got an A on my test, my mom would take me to Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
And I did get an A, and I took my friends with me.
Okay.
And then I guess it was her teaching me that if I set goals for myself and I plan ahead of time, that I would be able to get what I want.
Right.
And
To accomplish it.
yeah.
And there's probably some personal satisfaction about that, but it also helps to have some sort of reward,
Yeah.
right? Or some sort of incentive to be able to do that. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that sometimes, you know, working in conjunction with your family and your parents, if you want, you know, to set up some type of reward system, because I'm sure like for grades and academics, they definitely want that for you too. You know, so that's also a good thing. But you could write them down and you could set up a contract maybe with your family and parents and say, these are my goals. And then maybe they could say, well, these could be your incentives and your rewards.
Yeah.
And everybody sign it.
My family, I didn't get good grades, so we did like this box. There was like prizes and it was wrapped up. And every time like I had like a good week and I got good grades, I would get like a prize. I would pick it out and then unwrap it, and then it would be like a gift that I wanted.
Yeah, and was that motivating for
Yeah.
you to be able to have that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think, again, setting up those smaller goals, because you said it was every week you got to do that.
Yeah.
You know, what if you had set a goal and you said, okay, by the end of the school year, you know, then I would get my reward or my incentive at the end of the school year. That would be a really long time to have to wait.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of doing it in a shorter time period. I think that's awesome. Do you guys have any advice for any other students as far as setting goals for themselves?
Just don't do what you just said, because my mom told me and my brother, if we get like all a certain grade the entire year, that we can get like $300, but like that's a whole year and it's really hard, and we really both didn't do it.
So if you had to change that a little bit, would you say, okay, maybe, you know, $5 a week or however much it would be to get the $300 by the end of the year?
We do it like shorter now.
Yeah. Well, and it's trial and error sometimes, you know. You learned that, okay, that didn't really work for me, so let's try something different. Any other advice that you guys have?
Just like, I don't really know. It's kind of, some people can be motivated to something, but like other people can just say that they want to do it, but they could have the same amount of motivation, but they just like don't want to do it.
Right.
It in some cases it doesn't make sense what I just said, but like,
No, I hear what you're saying. I think sometimes some people have, well, everybody's different, and
Yeah.
everybody's motivated by something different. Some students maybe have more intrinsic motivation, which just means it comes from within, and they just have that desire, and they're going to do it no matter what. And other people need a little bit more prompting, right?
I wouldn't do something that's like I wouldn't go on a diet without motivation. Like I wouldn't just wake up one morning and say I should go on a diet. I would like have to have some kind of prize or reward or motivation that would make me do it.
Right.
Because I really like fattening food.
Right.
And so if I were to give that up, that would be like a big loss for me.
Right. And again, like you know, you were saying, is that I think everybody's different. You have to figure out what it is that's going to motivate you and what's important to you, which goes back to the SMART goals, things that are relevant, you know, something that's important to you. If you set a goal for yourself that's not important to you, then you're not going to want to do it, you know? So
Just focus on one goal. Don't set a ton of goals.
that's a great idea too, because you could get overwhelmed with too many goals. Start small, right?
Yeah.
Very good advice.
Start small, then go bigger and bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Once you kind of reach one, then okay, then you can add on another one and another one. Great advice. Okay. Thanks, guys. When we return, we will talk about the importance of being financially responsible. We'll be right back.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to U Talk. Financial literacy is knowing how to spend, save, share, and invest money wisely. It is an important concept that is not often discussed with children and teens. Financial literacy, specifically creating a budget and saving money, teaches you how to become a responsible adult and plan for your future. Welcome back, panelists. Let's talk about money. Your favorite topic, right? But we don't really talk about it very much.
No.
Everyone, it's kind of a personal topic and subject. But today I have an experiment that we're going to try. I have 4 cups in front of us. What do they say, Shelby? This one says spend,
Share. Save. And invest.
Invest. Very good. So we have 4 cups, and I actually have 4 coins in front of me. And let's do a quick review. What's this one called?
Penny.
It's a penny.
Penny. And what is its value?
One
It's
cent.
1 cent. How about this one?
It's a nickel.
A nickel. And it's 5 cents. Good thing we're reviewing. 5 cents. 5 cents. How about this little guy?
A dime.
A dime.
Smaller than a penny.
And it's worth 10 cents. And
A
last
quarter.
but not least, our quarter.
25
25
cents.
cents.
Took us a while there.
So let's have Cameron go first. Cameron, if you have these 4 coins in front of you, and you've got these 4 cups to spend, to share, to save, or to invest, where would you put your penny worth 1? I know I'm putting you on the spot right now. Dropping it in the cup.
I guess shale.
The sharing, okay. So we got that. And how about your nickel? You have 3 more cups left.
I would save.
You would save this nickel, okay, perfect. How about your dime? 10 cents here.
Spend.
Going in the spending cup. And 25 cents.
Invest.
Wow. So let's talk about Cameron's decision to put, and I know we all have different ideas and ways that we might have agreed with the way Cameron put her coins in the cup, but what do you think about Cameron's decision to put maybe even just, let's start with the quarter in the investing cup? What does investing mean, by the way? What are we talking about?
Don't ask me.
Investing is kind of like people invest in land and they invest in like stuff, and it's a way to describe it.
It's a way to grow your money,
Yes.
right? So you're not only saving it, but you're putting it away to grow the money so that later in life it will be worth more,
Yeah.
right? The value will increase. So do you think that the decision to put the quarter in the investing cup, she's putting, obviously that was of the 4 coins I had available today. Sorry, I'm out of cash. We had the quarter in the investing cup. So to me, that seems like she decided to put the most value that she had to work with in the investing cup. So that will grow her money more in time, or do the opposite? What do you think?
It'll probably grow.
Grow more?
Because it's small.
Because a bank will give you money the longer that you leave it in there too.
Right.
25 cents would turn to $1.
There you
would turn
go.
into 10.
So
Keeps it
a
going.
wise decision. You know, sometimes we don't even think about investing when we're teenagers, right?
Yeah.
And I wish that someone would have talked to me about, hey, if I put this check from grandma in an investment account, it could be worth hundreds or maybe even $1 million someday. Who knows? But that's what my point is, that if you start while you're young and you have these options in front of
Bigger
you,
and bigger.
you know, of course, this cup is pretty, you know, it's tempting. Exactly, that's the word I'm looking for. Because we want to go spend, you know, our money, any birthday money, holiday money that we get on anything that we, you know, see or can buy in the stores, that maybe it's like the newest pair of shoes, or maybe the newest technology, or the AirPods and all that. That's the rage. I think they're all sold out everywhere now. But we definitely get tempted by wanting to spend. And we forget that it's okay to share a little bit and give a little bit to other people, and maybe, you know, figure out a way that you can give back. Are there ways that you all give back, or how do you, you know, how do you give your money to others? At church, maybe? Donating. Anybody do anything for like
I put like tips.
Tips, maybe, giving those to people who need it the most, or charities. NC Nourish maybe comes to mind. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities there to share your money. Or maybe your friend, you know, the ice cream truck is coming down the street and your friend's over, but they don't have money with them. It's okay to share your money and get them an ice cream as well. It can be little acts of kindness like that. So it's not all about your spending, but it's how you give some of your money away. And then saving. Does anybody have a savings account? Anything that you've already started, or
What do you mean by that?
with the bank somewhere? And
I do.
Yep.
It's my bank account, so I kind of can do whatever I want with it, but I'm going to save it. And then I keep the money in my wallet that I want to spend, and then
Right.
And my parents also have a bank account for me and my brother.
Awesome. So as long as you can start thinking about opening up a savings account, if you don't already have one, that might be a really good place to start. Even if it's just, you know, a few extra birthday checks or things that you've, you know, received perhaps as gifts, or maybe that you've earned by walking your neighbor's dog, or babysitting, doing small jobs around the house, around the neighborhood, and you can put that away and use that for rainy days, or when that's, you know, big gift item that, or big ticket item that comes along that you're like, oh, I need this money for, you know, this car someday that I might want to drive to high school and college and beyond. But yeah, definitely a suggestion to start somewhere is to take the money you have and put a little bit in the spending cup, put a little bit in the sharing cup, a little bit in savings, and a lot in investment, and you'll watch your money grow. So try it if you haven't already done so, and we encourage all of our listeners to do the same. All right. On behalf of my co-host, Paige Turner, and the entire UTalk panel, thanks for watching. We hope you'll submit questions to our show, and tune in again next month for an all-new episode of UTalk.